Hello and welcome back to another episode of Internal Rambles. This is your girl, Rochelle. How are you doing? Hope you are doing well. We are back continuing to recap Ready to Love Season 11. This is the recap of episode 10 and part 2 of the Detroit Getaway, okay? This season is almost over, y'all. So let's not wait or hesitate. Let's get straight on into the recap, okay? This picks up right where the episode left off. The men are in power and one woman is going home, okay? If you remember, the bottom two women were Lauren and Shannon. The men feel that with Lauren, it's a bit of a roller coaster and that they get friend vibes with Lauren. And then with Shannon, they get more of a sister vibe with her. And that Steven mentioned that it's hard for him to navigate his connections because she jumps in and butts in whenever he's trying to talk with another woman. At the end of the day, they sent poor Shannon home. And when Steve announced that she was going home, homegirl broke down crying, and I felt really bad for her. Some people, I watched a few reviews, some people was like, girl, why you were crying? I think that, Shannon, I think she kind of knew that she didn't have strong connections, even though she did. I think she really liked Steven. I think she really liked Devin. Devin was a match for her, but he was playing around. But I think, not to assume, but if I had to guess, I think really the emotion was probably that I think she probably felt pretty disappointed that this dating experiment did not work for her. I think she was one that really, really wanted to find love. I think she put a lot of effort into it and she was serious about it. And so I think it was more so not that she really thought she found the one, but I think it was just more so the disappointment that this did not work out for her. So she broke down crying and went into Dominique's arms crying. A few people went to her and hugged her and supported her. Some people did not touch her with a 10-foot pole. I don't know what that was about. Maybe they're not very close to her. I don't know. But she went outside. Steven went out to offer her some support and encouragement, which on one hand I thought was really nice that he did go after her and supported her. But then also it kind of was like, excuse me, Steven, you're one of the reasons why she's going home. Nonetheless, at least he, was kind to her. Somebody, the homegirl was just sitting outside like she was waiting on her Uber. I don't know. I really kind of don't like that they send someone home at the retreat, because I kind of think that they should get to know each other, have that time, and then the men's have come back, have their lounge, and do it afterwards. Why do they have to go home in the middle of the retreat? I think that's kind of super weird. But anyways, now that a woman has gone home, power shifts and the women are in power and a man will be going home. After Shannon leaves, Lauren talks to Steven and asks, why she was still here, if there's still a connection. Steven tells her yes, and Lauren asks him if he is still glad that she's here. He says yes. She doesn't fully believe him because she doesn't believe that his actions are mirroring his words. I like Steven, I've mentioned this, but I think that he has a hard time showing his interest, showing that he likes a woman, showing his intentionality. And I think, like she says, mirroring, you can say one thing, but if you like a woman, you have to show it. You can't just say, oh, I like you. I likes you. You have to show it. And I think he has a hard time with that. I don't know if he fully knows what it means to show and prove. Next, Lauren goes to Bello, who is her other connection. She tries to have a conversation with him. And then as they're talking, Dominique comes and sits nearby. Bello starts fidgeting. He can't really focus. He doesn't he starts kind of he's not able to really talk to her. His eye starts wandering back and forth between her and Lauren. Her and Dominique. Lauren and Dominique. And Lauren notices this and she's like, what's going on? You can't have a conversation with me while Dominique is around. So, at this point, I really kind of wish that Dominique and Bella would stop playing. They are a match for each other. They really like each other. They remind me of Joy and Clifton from a previous season, but not fully, because at a certain point, Joy and Clifton, they realized they were a match for each other. They liked each other and they became, and there's a little bit of drama, but they ultimately became exclusive. Dominique and Bella, for some reason, won't cut their other connections off fully. Everyone sees that they are into each other, that they're a match, that they are locked in, but they won't fully cut their other connections off. They act very wish-washy with their other connections in certain ways, but they won't cut the other ones off. I don't know. At this stage in the game, it's okay to be direct with your connections and let them know, like, you know what? I'm just going to deal with this one person, at this stage of the game. But they won't do it. Next, they give out the singles give out the succulents that they made earlier in the retreat, and Bello gives his to Dominique, and he says, this is representing Mexico, and I think that we should really go to Mexico. And it's just another example of why they should just be exclusive. Donna gets upset because Steven has 3 succulents but does not give her one. He even has one for Shannon, who is no longer there. And it makes me wonder, why did Shannon go home? Because I do think that Steve was still interested in her. I think he was a little annoyed that she butted into some of his conversations, but I do think that she was a connection for her. But at the end of the day, like, he was giving out so many succulents, he probably just didn't have time to make an additional. If he had time, Donna, he probably would have made you one too. He just was spreading himself too thin, ultimately. Next, we see Darius and Ashley. They have a conversation. Ashley says that she wants to have deeper conversations with Darius. So she tells him that God is very important to her. And she asks him, does he feel the same way? He says that he does. And then, instead of him also trying to have a deep conversation with her, he asks her, what is her beauty regimen? How do you go from questions about faith and trying to get to know someone deeply to what's your beauty regimen? Because Darius is playing around. She says, and so her answer was that she had, before going on the retreat, she did a full body wax. It just was a strange conversation next. And I'm just like, Darius, you playing around. Like, what are we doing and why are we doing it? But you know what? She accepts it. So it is what it is. So the couples leave the retreat and we see Lauren go on a date with Vince. And I'm sitting, as I'm watching this, I'm like, why is Lauren on a date with Vince? He is not a real connection for her. For some reason, she keeps going back to him, even though they've had such and he's even identified a roller coaster connection. Her connection is really with Steven. Why isn't she exploring that connection more to see if she can deepen it or to see what's really there? But no, she goes on a on a date with Vince, who she's had gone back and forth with. She's had disagreements with. He's called her a beef. I know that they've resolved that, but that's not the connection. Nonetheless, they go on the date and he says that he wants her to give her friends an apology for the disagreement that they had when he met them. And so she's like, oh, well, we can just call my friends. I don't have to do it. We can call. So she calls them. He apologizes. Everything, I guess, is peachy keen. And so now she really likes him even more. And it's great. I'm just like, what is this? This is just silliness. Like, Lauren, I need you to do better. Like, Bello and Ashanti go on a date. That's it. That's all I have for that. Another pointless date because Bello is into his connection is with Dominique. They discuss their experiences going to therapy, and it's a nice conversation. I can't hate on it. But Bello, his real connection is with Dominique. So even though he says he's trying to explore and be open, why? Your connection is with Dominique. Dominique goes out with Cardi. He's still trying to scratch and see if anything is with Dom, because I think he does like Dominique. A lot of the men like Dominique. But basically, at the end of the day, Dominique tells him, listen, you weren't applying pressure. I went to the man that went after me, and Bello won. And Cardi had to accept that. We are now in the ladies' lounge. And the women are talking about, obviously, the getaway, but then also their outside dates. Lauren discusses her concerns with Bello that before the getaway, he said that he was going to be intentional and really, make sure that he's spending time with her. But when she tried to sit down and have a conversation, she says, one of his connections came by and he couldn't really talk. He was whispering. So Dominique interrupts and she's like, are you talking about me? Are you talking about me? And so Lauren's like, I wasn't, trying to, making it an issue about you. I'm just talking about Bello's behavior. Like, he didn't do what he said he was going to do. My issue is not with you. And it's like, calm down, Dominique. She does not have a problem with you. She was just saying, Bello said that he was going to be intentional and explore our connection, and he didn't. She does not have an issue with you. You're trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, and it ain't even a molehill. Like, so cool your jets, Dominique. Ultimately, the bottom two men were Cardi, because the women have been saying he's not opening up. very surface level. He's not intentional with the women enough. And Steven, he has a lot of connections, but they're very shallow. And they sent both of them home. And I think that's really unfortunate with Steven, because I really like Steven. I think he was a very nice guy, but he could not share strong enough how he felt for the women. His actions didn't mirror his words. Dominique said she didn't even know that Lauren was matched or had a connection with Steven, because he wasn't really sharing that he had an interest for Lauren. So, he said he learned a lot, and, he said that he will, try to work on, his confidence with women. And I didn't know that he had, a confidence issue. I just think he has to just be mirror, your actions speak louder than words. So you can say 25,000 things, but if your actions aren't showing it, then it's purposeless, So that's that. That was the episode. They are winding down. Like, this is next week. They're meeting, I think, the men's family. They done met the friends. They done met the exes. Now they go into the family. Pretty soon they're going to be on the bridge saying, I choose you or I don't choose you. There only can be about 2 to 3 more episodes. Let me look. Episode 11 is this week, and then last season there were 12 episodes and then 2 reunions. So yeah, there may only be like 2 more episodes left. So we'll see. I like this season. This is, I definitely think they redeemed themselves thus far from last season. I really only think, even if multiple people say yes to each other, I really only think that there's one connection, and that's Dominique and Bello. I think that there could have been, if people would have been better with the way they maneuvered themselves and handled themselves, there could have been more connections. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. So that is the recap. Really quickly, I was gonna discuss this in a different episode, but I'm gonna do it now so I don't forget. Married at First Sight, my favorite show, they announced that they let go all 3 of the experts. So next season, which I think might be the 20th season, the experts will not be there. So no Pastor Cal, no Dr. Pia, and no Dr. Pepper. And I'm really, really sad about it. Y'all know I love me some Pastor Cal. I'm really, really disappointed and sad. I knew this was going to happen when they moved to Peacock, and the production company that took over Married at First Sight. When I saw, they're the same ones that do Love Is Blind on Netflix. I said it's a matter of time. I was actually surprised that they were there for last season, but when I saw that they moved to Peacock, and the production company that took it over be, and then they were holding casting calls for experts. I said it's only a matter of time before they either push out all the experts or some of the experts. So yes, season 20, whenever that comes on, Dr. Pia won't be there, Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper. So really, really, really sad about that. You know, I know some people feel like it's all the experts' fault that there haven't been matches, but I think there's a lot of different factors. There have been some really great matches, but I think there's different factors that go that play the part. And Pastor Cal, I didn't watch the interview. He's done a few interviews. I think he mentioned he's working on some other things. So hopefully we will see him doing some other stuff in the future. But he said that he's on to some other things. Dr. Pia said that she's going to be focusing on her clinical work and her family. So I don't know. I hope that Pastor Cal will see him on our TV screens or some, working on some sort of projects. I really liked him and the way that he worked with the couple. So hopefully, I really liked Pastor Cal. So we'll see what happens. And I don't know what Dr. Pepper said. I didn't read. So yeah, I'm really sad about that. So it'll be interesting to see who the new experts are gonna be. I wonder if they'll bring back is his name Devin Franklin? Because he was like a guest. Devin Franklin. He was a guest expert previously. That'd be interesting. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I like Devin Franklin. So we'll see. Also, when is Love and Marriage Detroit and DC? More so DC. That's my favorite one. When are those shows coming back? Does anybody? I haven't seen anything. Haven't heard. Especially with Ready to Love wrapping up. I don't know what my next show. I haven't seen anything. What my next show to review is going to be. So I haven't seen anything that I would be interested in reviewing. So we will see what the next show is, because I have no idea what's coming on. I don't know what's coming on after Ready to Love wraps up. But sometimes Ready to Love goes off, and then they announce that the next season will be on like 2 weeks later. So I don't know if that's happening, but we shall see. So that's that for this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're listening to this on YouTube. Listen to my past recaps. Subscribe to me wherever you get your podcast content so you get my episodes when they release. I am planning on doing a entertainment trending topics, and still my 2025 best of 2025 is coming soon. I'm gonna look out for those episodes. And that's that. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself. Self-care is very important. Do what you need to do for you, even if it's 10-15 minutes out of your day. Do what you need to do to take care of yourselves. And until next episode, this is your girl, Rochelle.